Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and you're welcome back again to Jesus Loves You channel. We have something very important to discuss this morning, but before we get into this in details, please, I would love you to hit that subscribe button if you're coming here for the first time, and please don't forget to hit the bell by the side so you can get notified whenever we drop our daily content. Following the insurgents and the insecurity situation in Nigeria, governors have come together and decided to meet Buhari and the service chiefs. The Nigerian Governors Forum has described the worsening situation or the worsening insecurity situation of Nigeria. Said this in a statement titled NGF expresses solidarity with Governor Babagana Zulum and the entire Borno state, which he signed and made available to the media on Monday. He expressed gratitude to God for sparing the life of Babagana Zulum, that's the governor of Borno state, and all members of the team who were attacked by Boko Haram terrorists last week in Borno state. The statement read, "On behalf of the 36 state governors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under the platform of the NGF, I write to express our solidarity with you and the people of Borno State, following the attack last Wednesday by gunmen suspected to be members of the Boko Haram terrorist group. This is one unwarranted attack too many. It epitomizes our collective vulnerability and the fragility of the country's security architecture. Although you emerge from this incident, we note with regret the injuries sustained by two members of the Civilian Joint Task Force and a police officer attached to your convoy, and do accordingly pray for their quick recovery. Mr. Governor, forum members are resolutely behind you in your efforts to rid Borno State of this dastardly and wicked agents of evil. We appalled by the worsening security situation in the country generally, in spite of all the efforts of the government to end it." So I think this is a nice step by the governors to come together and meet with the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, to talk about insecurity situation or the worsening insecurity in Nigeria. Nigerians can no longer sleep with their two eyes closed, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. I've seen what's happening here, and I think the federal government, or it's time for the federal government to wake up and do something about it. So many have been killed, thousands have been killed, so many homes have been displaced, people are living under the bridges, living in rocks, living in different places because Boko Haram has set their homes ablaze. So the governor should come together, like they have said, meet with the president and the service chief to bring a long-lasting solution to this problem of Boko Haram terrorist group in Nigeria. In other news, we are all aware that in the month of March, the federal government asked all schools in Nigeria to close down to avoid the spread of the coronavirus pandemic in the country, or to control the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria. But now, students preparing for their WAEC, NECO and other senior certificate examination have been asked to resume school. The federal government will embark on an assessment of all unity schools in the country as students in exit classes, that is SS3 classes, resume school on Tuesday. The Minister of State for Education, Emeka Nwajuba, has said this. According to him, the intended tour, which will be led by the Minister of State for Education, aim to assess the level of preparedness of these various institutions. A statement issued by the Director of Press and Public Relations in the Federal Ministry of Education quoted Nwajuba as saying this during an online meeting with the 36th State Commissioner of Education. He said this, that the Permanent Secretary in the FMOE, Sonny Echono, and the directors of the ministry will join him in the assessment tour. The statement read, ahead of August 4th, 2020, the Minister of State for Education, Honorable Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, has announced that all the 104 Unity College are ready to open their gates to exit classes tomorrow, announcing the preparedness of the Unity Colleges at a meeting with Honorable Commissioners of Education of the 36 states of the Federation this Monday morning via the Zoom platform. The minister lauded principals of the Unity Colleges for the comprehensive preparation put in place for resumption. Across states, Honorable commissioners reported varying degrees of preparation and readiness for the reopening between August 4th and 10th for virtually all schools within their jurisdiction. Well, this is a very fantastic step by the federal government to reopen schools for all the exit classes, that is the JSS3 and the SS3, those preparing for their certificate examination, so they can go in and write. These students have been home for a very long time. I'm sure most of them might have forgotten the spelling of school. Most of them might have forgotten all about their studies. But I think this will really help them put themselves together, read, and also write the exam. But I also urge the federal government to do all it takes to make sure they control the spread of COVID-19, because as of today, the cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria is still on the increase. So these students can learn and write the exam in a peaceful and safe environment.
Guidelines for the safe reopening of schools at every level in the country. Chairman, Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, announced that the new guidelines must be implemented by all stakeholders concerned. Part of recommendations in the 52-page document includes that learners and children be divided into small groups to mitigate risk of contact and maintain a distance of 2 meters from one another.
The PTF has followed with keen interest the conversation around the resumption of schools. We recognize that our children are precious, and we would not do anything to compromise their safety. The Presidential Task Force has assessed the circumstances and has put in place necessary guidelines to be followed, while the managers of the sector have the responsibility of drawing up the protocols and determining the dates. We urge Nigerians to follow closely the critical steps being taken by the Federal Ministry of Education in conjunction with other stakeholders. Further to this, the Federal Ministry of Education has released guidelines for schools and learning facilities reopening after COVID-19 pandemic closure. The guidelines clearly spell out major things to consider before schools and learning facilities shall reopen.
In other news, we'll be talking about the English Premier League. Chelsea deserve a fair start next season, says Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard has called on the Premier League to give Chelsea a fair start to the next season, saying that the September 12th launch date is too early for his players. The Blues lost Saturday's FA Cup final 2-1 to London rivals Arsenal, but are still not finished with the current campaign. Lampard's side takes on Bayern Munich on Saturday in the rescheduled second leg of the Champions League. Round of 16 tie, trailing 3-0 from the first leg. Even if they exit the competition, Chelsea will have just 35 days before the next season is due to begin. Manchester City are also still in the Champions League, the final which is scheduled for 23rd of August, while Manchester United and Wolves are still in the Europa League, which ends on August 21st. The Chelsea boss said, "Even in the worst case scenario, we don't go through against Bayern. The 12 feels too early for me for the players to start playing again," said the Chelsea boss Frank Lampard. He added, "The players need a break. That is why we have pulled 2 hamstrings and had players pull out of the games before this." Lampard employed the Premier League to make sure clubs start the next season with a level playing field. "I would like to think the Premier League will look seriously at that," he said. "Hopefully they give us a fair start next season. We deserve to be given a fair start as a Premier League club competing in the Champions League." Well, we hope the English Premier League gives Chelsea a fair start, because according to what the Chelsea boss says, Frank Lampard, the player needs a break, and I think the startup time should be extended so the Chelsea players can put themselves together, unite, and come out strong. That will be all for today. Those are the top 3 headlines. If you're coming to this channel for the first time, please, I would love you to hit that subscribe button. Jesus Loves You channel is the right platform for you. All you have to do is sit at the comfort of your home, subscribe to this channel, and you will get updated with things happening in Nigeria, news about Africa, and the world at large. Keep watching Jesus Loves You channel, and God bless you.